Welcome back, boys and girls. Yes, I am back out in the range. And no, I have not been hunting because my freezer is full. But one of my viewers who lives in California, where they're only allowed to shoot copper bullets, was saying the copper bullets were notorious for having a flyer when it's the first shot in a cold bore. So I brought two rifles out and I brought my reloads, and they're both Bond's tip, which is copper bullet. So I'm gonna try to shoot them in a cold bore and see how they grow. And the first rifle that I'm gonna be shooting is a Christensen. I just bought it 3 months ago for the Montana elk hunt, so it's relatively new rifle. I have not shot that many through it. And the second rifle is Savage. I had it for way over 10 years, and I know I put at least over 1,000 rounds through it. So it's pretty seasoned barrel. So let's see how they compare. Okay, this is Christensen rifle with 7 mag, shooting at 100 yards. This rifle has been cleaned, and this is going to be a first shot in a cold bore. And today temperature is about 34, 35, so it's pretty chilly. All right, let's see. Okay, it shot probably about 1.5 inches high. This is Savage. I had this rifle for over 10 years, so I like to think this is pretty seasoned barrel. Same thing, 100 yards. I'll be shooting it right up it. First shot. Oh yeah, this is touching bullseye. So, okay, this is Browning AB3. I bought this rifle last year. Haven't shot that much with it. So let's try it the cold bore. This is also copper bullet, only GMX. Let's see. First shot. Huh. Not too bad. A little low. It's a little high but tight group. Oh yeah, very tight. He went through the same hole. Oh my god, that's accurate. The barrel is still nice and cold, and it's a cold day, so let's see how this grows. Oh yeah, that's probably about 1/2 inch group. I feel like I wasn't ready for the third shot, but it's still decent. I know I could have done better, but this is just to prove if he shoots well even in the cold bore. And I know this was shooting better of the second shot, but third shot I just felt like I wasn't 100% ready, and having such a sensitive trigger, it just went out. Oh wow, this gave me like probably quarter-inch group. I think I know you made a big difference when I was breaking in the barrel as a new rifle, but after putting in a couple hundred rounds, whether you had it for 10 years or a couple of months, it seems to be shooting pretty consistent, even in a cold bore after cleaning it. So, I mean, the group right there, I'm pretty happy with it. But this weekend, I'm going to see my buddy in Lynchburg, and they have 300 yard range out there. So I'm gonna try to shoot 300 yards and see how they group as well. And this is kind of also testing my reload as well, so I want to see how tight it gets. This is at 100 yards, and as I mentioned, I am really stoked about all my groupings being a very first shot in a cold bore. So that's with a Christensen 3-shot group, so that's really tight. I think you shoot better as I shoot more, but this is Savage. And that's the first 2 shot, and I knew I wasn't ready for that one. But again, what do you do? And this is one I was really stoked about. This is Browning 243. First two shot went to this two same hole, and then that's my third shot. So I tell you, they're all pretty tight. Okay, I'm pretty stoked about the result today. Now the first two shots was with my reload, Bond Steve 150 grain TSX. This is copper bullet, and as you can see, the grouping 3-shot group in core barrel was held less than a half inch. So that's, for me, that's really good. And with a Savage, I got 3/4 of an inch, which still is decent. I could have done better, but that might be me. And with AB3, I got 3/8 of an inch. So it's a little bit past 1/4 inch, but it's 3/8 of an inch, which is super great. And that was with SST bullet, not GMX copper. So this is SST bullet, 95 grain. This is 150 grain. And I think shooting a little bit heavier bullet, because 95 for 243 is considered on a heavier side. So I think maybe shooting a heavier bullet, you might have more consistent shooting off the core bore barrel. So here it is. I'm at the Lynchburg and we're shooting at 300 yards. Let's see how it groups.
You know, and I'm trying to get that bug worked out.
So I'm gonna cover it up and try for the second 3-shot groups.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Wow.
Show me how you recycle that. Very good.
Oh, that's tight. Good. Okay. Okay, here are the targets. I was hoping I could do a little better at 300 yards, but I had sun in my eye. Okay, that's my excuse. But anyway, this is my first 3-shot group. And my first 2-shot was, like always, is always really good. My first 2-shot was actually less than 1.25 inches. But then my third shot, that might be me. But anyway, I shot 2.25. And then on my second 3-shot group, my first 2-shot, again, actually it was a little bit less than 1 inch. So I was really pumped. And then that's my third shot again. So again, it came in at 2.25. So both 3-shot group with the Christensen was 2.25. I was hoping under 2 inch at 300, but that's still under 1 MOA at 100. And what I noticed was when I was shooting at 100 yards, it was shooting about 1 inch to 1.5 inches high. And at 300, it's shooting about 3 inch to 4 inch high. So if I sight it in right at the bullseye at 100, I think that's going to bring it down to near the bullseye here at 300. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. Now with my Savage, again, my first 2-shot was awesome. It was a little bit over 1 inch, 1.25. And then my third shot was down here. So if I measure it, that's about 3.25. Yeah, that's about 3.25. And then my second shot group, I actually adjust my scope to the left because I know she was shooting all to the right. And then my first 2-shot was pretty decent. It's about 1.5 inches. But on my third shot, that's probably me again. That was that's 3.5, a little bit 3.5, little over 3.5 inch group at the second shot group. So it doesn't really take much to pull a shot at 300 yards. But again, that was 100 yards. And I was actually pretty happy with Savage too, but I think I could have done better if I didn't have that sun in my eye. Having the sun in my eye, it was really hard to see my crosshair. It was kind of dancing, and my eyes were actually hurting. But anyway, that's my groups at 300 yards. And after the sun went down, I actually came back and I shot at the 8-inch gong at 300 yards. And with both rifle, single shots, I rang the gong with no problem. So I'm pretty happy about that as well.
Nice.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah. And lastly, like always, thank God for what you have. Enjoy your life with what you got. But mostly remember, Jesus came to save us, not to judge us. Well, Merry Christmas and God bless 2020. See you.